Hello everybody, and welcome to Texas Yarn Lovers channel. I'm Aurora, and I will be teaching you how to make these alternate what I call web earrings. They're a little bit different, so I wanted to show you guys how to do these. These are very, very easy, and anybody can do this. It's just single crochet all the way around, and all you do after that, you leave a long enough tail to do all the webbing part, and I'll show you step by step. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Okay, we're gonna start, and I'm gonna show you what I have and where I get mine. As you can see, these are $1.59, and I got them from a beauty shop that is not too close to me, but I drive kind of up a ways to get to it because it just has so many pieces of jewelry there, you know, costume jewelry that is really inexpensive, so I love going there every once in a while. These are my gold hoops, and as you can see, there are 3 pairs in one package, so they're like 50 cents a piece, a little bit over 50 cents a piece. So that's pretty inexpensive. And they're not real gold, of course not. And what I do is I start with the smallest one because I don't have any customers that like the large ones, and I know of maybe one girl that uses a neighbor of mine that uses these gigantic hoops down here. I love them. I love to see them on other people, but because I have no neck, I don't have a long neck, I don't wear the big ones. So if I want to wear something, you know, I'd have to go with the smaller ones. So I'm going to teach you with these, and hopefully you can see everything clear and in focus. And I'm going to be using, let's see, this is Red Heart Fashion Crochet thread. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. It's a number 5. It's mercerized cotton and 93% mercerized cotton and 7% metallic. It really doesn't matter what you use. I just want you to know what type of material that I'm using so that you can go out there and purchase your own, and feel free to experiment. I mean, if you've got something, you know, some type of thread hanging around, go ahead and use it. I like this one because it's sparkly. I love sparkly yarn and thread. So I'm going to be using also a bee crochet hook. I don't know if you can see that, if that's in focus. I don't know. But it's a 1 to 2.25 millimeter, or a B in US. Yes, this is all US terms. So I know one of my video or subscribers said, I think you're doing, you know, such and such stitch, and I'm like, oh, I must have messed up and said the wrong thing, but I think they were from another country, and that's where the confusion came in. This is all US terminology, so if you need a website, I'll post a link to so that you know what I'm talking about when I say a stitch. I mean, you can see them playing as day here, but just in case, if you need to go, you know, double check that what stitch I'm doing, you can go there, and it'll be posted at the bottom. So you want to put, let me start, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a slip knot on my crochet hook. Now you don't have to use this size. This is the size that I like to use. And what I do is I grab the tail and I put it on top of the earring like that, and then I dip into the inside of the earring and pull up a loop, and then single crochet. And that is what you're going to do all the way around this hoop. Okay? Sorry if I wasn't in focus there, or in shot. And you will continue to do this for as many stitches as you like. As you can see here on the red earrings, I went all the way to the top, all the way around. So I don't know how many stitches that is, but because, as you can see, this hoop is way bigger than that other one, just do as many as you like. You don't have to go all the way to the top, all the way around. You can even go further and chain across and connect them. So, I mean, that's another option. Just play with it. Make it your own. You don't have to follow my instructions exactly. So, as soon as you finish with this, then I'll meet you back at the other end. Okay, so I'm back. And I have done roughly about 100 stitches all the way around. Now, one thing that I do need you guys to pay attention to is the gaps between these stitches. And I don't know if you can see that. Maybe there. But if you spread them apart, you can see the hoop itself. So because I'm using a gold thread on top of a gold hoop, it really doesn't matter. But if you're using maybe like a painted hoop, whether it be in white, black, red, whatever color you get, and then a contrasting color thread on top, you're going to be able to see that. Now, if that's the kind of look you want, great, fantastic, don't worry about it. But if you want this yarn to be the color of the hoop, and you don't want the hoop's color coming through, you really do need to stitch in or single crochet enough stitches so that they don't spread apart so easily, or that the hoop underneath doesn't come showing through the stitches. Now, once you flip it over, you'll see that that's done. Okay? Now, remember, you need 2 different sides to these earrings because one's worn on the left, one's worn on the right. So, let's see how this goes. This is going to be my my right side earring, because once I flip these in, my right side is going to be on this side. So if I put the earring hoop on my ear, the good side's on this side. And I started to crochet on the side over here. If you start the same way on the other one, you'll have 2 identical hoops, and one will be facing the wrong way. So you have to remember to flip your hoops so that you can start on crocheting on this side all the way and then flip around. Okay? Just a reminder to yourself to note on which side you start and what side earring you're working on. Okay? Now, once you get to here, this is your last stitch. You've stitched it up, your last single crochet. What do you do from here? Well, what I do is I take another stitch, and then I pull about 1.5 yards, maybe even 2 yards of the crochet thread, depending on how thick of a web you want to make. Now, see, I've got my thread all tangled up here. And so if you don't want it too densely covered, you don't have to leave a lot of thread on your hoop. On your hoop. But if you do want it densely covered, mine is not, I wouldn't say this is densely covered, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good coverage. So you have to take into consideration how many times you're going to weave in and out and across the earring. So if you leave 2 yards of this thread on, then you'll be fine. I've already measured this out. This is about 1.5 yards. And I'm going to take my little scissors and cut there, pull my spool out to the side, and finish pulling, the thread out. I'm kind of okay. And then I'm going to cinch it tight here. Okay. Now, if you want beads in between here, dangling in the middle of these, my suggestion is feed them in now. So you would take the end of your extra thread and hook it onto a needle and feed your beads in. You don't need a lot because, of course, you know, too much is sometimes too much. But then after you feed on your beads, then you can start doing the next step. For this demonstration, I won't be using any beads. It'll just be the earring with the crochet thread. From here on out, what you will do is simply go in and out of the sides of the hoop. So what does that mean? It means you're going to pull the thread across, you're going to pull the thread across the earring, and wherever you want it to land, that's where you jab in. Okay, and then pull your yarn or a thread, making sure it doesn't bunch up or pull anything or get knotted up on you, because it does tend to curl because it's in a spool. Okay, that's your first crossover, and then you continue wherever you want. There's no rhyme or reason. If you want your hoops to be exactly the same, then I would suggest you draw a diagram of where you went in first, how many stitches you went down first and which stitch you went into. That's a lot of problems for me. I don't have that much time. I'm not that OCD. Sorry. But this one, as you can tell, I wanted them to look somewhat the same, but they're not exactly the same, okay? They're completely different. And that's okay, because they look, when you have them on your ears, it doesn't matter. At least not to me. And so you go in there. Now this stitch that I did, the first one I went from the top down. The next one I do will be from the bottom up. Okay, so now I'm pulling out the thread to the top. Okay, and it doesn't really matter where you go next. Okay, this is sort of free form. And see, now I'm going from the top down because my thread is coming out from the top. So I'm going to go like this, from the top down. And you just continue to do this. Oops, that one got caught around the hoop itself. Until you filled up your earrings, and then they start to look something like this. If you want to draw like a star, this is kind of looking like a star right now. You can go ahead and finish up the star by there, and then from here I'd go up and then across to here, and there you would have your star like this. You would have a star on your earring that way. But that is how you would do these. Okay, once you have done your earring hoop the way you like it, the last thing I do, I try to end up where my last stitch is going into the very first stitch in the earring, up here. So I feed that through, and once I do that, then I can tie it off. In other words, pretend I'm doing a knot. Or not pretend, but actually do a knot. I don't know if you guys can see that, what I'm doing. Just wrapping it around that last cord that I did. And once you've got your knot, it's all secure. And then you take your needle and thread it through the base chain. You're blocking that light, sweetie. And I just feed it in through a couple of those. And once you've got it in there, you can keep feeding it through as many of the base chain as you would like, and then just cut it off. And I think I'll do a couple of more, or a few more actually. There it is. And then you snip it off. This is what I do. I just snip it off here. And kind of anchor that. And there is your earring. I hope you like my tutorial. Go ahead and finish your earrings and send me a picture or video response to this video. And I would love, 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 love to see what you've created. Thanks everybody for watching and hope you liked the video. Bye-bye.